Finally, she did a movie that's family friendly. Have you seen Over the Garden Wall yet? This is one of the most enchanting and beautifully made cartoon miniseries that I have seen in years. The only thing that even gets anywhere near it is Nightmare Before Christmas. And I think that this is actually, don't kill me, this is better. It's just really well made. Storytelling is fantastic. Artwork, art direction, music, everything is so well put together. And they did it over various nights, and they threw little things in on the slates so that as you're going on, when this was originally shown, the face of the moon at the beginning is actually what the face of the moon was like in the sky on the night it aired. Not kidding. Look it up. I found that out in my research. Over the Garden Wall came out in 2014. It's directed by Nate Cash. It was written by a lot of different people. There were like 14 or 15 writers on it. It was created mostly by Katie Krentz and Patrick McHale. Patrick McHale you will know from such beautiful things as Flapjack and Adventure Time. In fact, they've all worked on Adventure Time, the entire crew. Katie Krentz is one of the executive people behind Clarence as well, so everybody on the crew is very well versed with modern children's programming that is accessible on multiple levels for adults and children, and as you grow with it, it grows with you. So some of the celebrities that are attached to this: Elijah Wood, he is Wirt, and then you also have Christopher Lloyd, who plays the woodsman. And even the smaller characters, like Auntie Whispers, are really famous people. That's Tim Curry. I jumped out of my skin when I found out that was Tim Curry, because I love him, and I didn't hear him in that character until I found that out. Gregory, Wirt's little brother, is played by Colin Dean. Beatrice is voiced by Melanie Linkey. The Beast is an interesting voice actor. Samel Raimi. I had to read that off of here. Samel Raimi. And the reason you're not familiar with him is because he's actually an opera singer. All of his IMDb credits, except for a few very recent ones, are all Metropolitan Opera and opera companies. He is an opera singer, and as you watch the show, you understand that it's just very musically sophisticated. Potatoes and molasses. Do, 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 do. The songs will stick with you. They're enchanting. They help move the story along as well, even when they're singing about potatoes and molasses. There's some really adorable moments in this movie miniseries. Like Wirt and his brother Gregory are adorable. They have some issues getting along. All kids do. But they work it out, and Wirt really starts to take ownership of his role as an older brother throughout the movie. And there's this one moment where they get to an abandoned house, and Gregory says, "We're turtle rich." And his brother's reaction is like, "Yeah, isn't it weird that there's like a bucket of turtles in this abandoned house?" So what's Over the Garden Wall about? Over the Garden Wall is about two boys on Halloween, and the older brother is taking the younger brother on some trick-or-treating. And also, he's got some girl issues. He really wants to tell this girl that he likes her, and he doesn't know how to do it, and he thinks that she won't understand it, so he makes her tape. And the tape is him playing his clarinet, and he's going to give her that tape, and he thinks that that will communicate how he feels about her. It's really sweet. And it's also really funny because he's so self-conscious the whole time. And his little brother is just like, do it, tell her, do the thing. Why are you holding back your feelings? And yeah, seriously, why do we hold back our feelings? Kane, I'm looking at you on the couch. So they're wandering around, and it's Halloween. They wind up in a graveyard, and there is a accident that happens, and then they wind up in this other realm where they don't know where they are, and they have to find their way home. It's classic Wizard of Oz style storytelling where you have children transported to a magical, strange place that's kind of dangerous, but not super dangerous. Like, you do think at any moment they might perish, but in the end, they might still perish. You don't know the entire time. I'll just be right, I'll just be that person. And they wind up having a guide named Beatrice. Beatrice is a bluebird of happiness who is also trying to help her family. And they've all been cursed by a witch who has turned them into bluebirds. Because there are witches in this realm, and not all of them are bad, and not all of them are good, and some of them are kind of somewhere in between. Auntie Whispers, you never really get a feel for what she is, really. She's kind of like a midline character, and she's spooky. So then you meet the woodsman, and you're like, is the woodsman a good guy? Is the woodsman a bad guy? What is going on with this character? He's collecting the idlewood. He's collecting all this oil from these trees to help his daughter, who's trapped in a lantern the whole time. And he always seems to show up when somebody's telling a story or mentioning, or the beast shows up. So you never know what his actual connection is until way later in the movie. And you meet lovely but slightly spooky people like the pumpkin-headed people of Pottsfield. Pottsfield is actually Potter's Field. It's basically a large graveyard, and everybody there is dressed as a pumpkin, but they're really skeletons, and you find that out fairly quickly. So that's like one of the very first encounters. So as he's going along the road, he makes all these friends and he meets all these people. And I won't tell you whether or not they get home. You should watch it. It is so well made, and the songs are going to stick in your head. And to this day, I still sing potatoes and molasses. Don't you know something rhymes with asses? Stories like Over the Garden's Wall that involve children wandering unencumbered and unsupervised are a tradition, just like in, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and the Goonies, and they're prevalent through our entire culture and country and everything, because children have the best adventures in other worlds when adults aren't around for some reason. It's easier storytelling too if the adults aren't around. Just ask Miyazaki. You've got Spirited Away and a whole bunch of other films, and it's a very easy vehicle to have characters get involved in situations and then step out of those situations and then step back into their regular lives, or not step back in their regular lives. I don't want to ruin the ending for you. Every year, though, I have to watch this film, and every year the rumors start up that they're going to create a second one, and originally it was supposed to have 18 episodes. And after you watch it, you're going to be like, what? Why didn't we get 18 episodes? Well, I don't care. It's perfect the way it is. It's encapsulated storytelling. They use many different art styles. They use many different music styles, and they use it to string together one cohesive world and story And you are going to love it this Halloween. Watch it with your children. And it's good for small children too. It's not super scary. There are a few moments of abject horror at the end. But nothing that small children won't be able to be like, whatever, dude, and get through. So enjoy it with your children, and happy Halloween.
Oh, potatoes and molasses. If you want some, oh, just ask us. They're warm and soft like puppies in socks, filled with cream and candy rocks. Oh, potatoes and molasses. They're so much sweeter.
And he's gonna